my corner of shame. I'm being very vulnerable with you guys today here on the internet. This is real life, so try to take it easy on the judgment. This corner has been a catch-all since I started to make it my bar last year. I ran into a small issue because I was planning to put wood at the bottom of the crates. However, once I put the wood in it, I realized that it's a little bit thicker than I had intended. So my dad helped me cut down some spare luan, and we got a thickness that I was interested in having. The problem is all of this kind of built up over here in the meantime. So before the holiday season, and I have visitors here, let's get this bar put together so that when someone comes, I can offer them a festive glass of holiday cheer. All right, step one, remove everything that doesn't belong. That includes all of the candle vessels that I've been hoarding over here, this Christmas tree box that's just been hanging out since I put up my silver tree in the living room. Certainly don't need that. This planter that ended up over here after I killed the plant that once lived inside of it. This shelf that came out of the kitchen when we painted in there. I intended to sell it on Facebook Marketplace, but never listed it, and now it's dusty and needs cleaned. So, again, a lot of stuff that just doesn't quite belong. So, oh yes, also, how about this volleyball schedule? Nope, not volleyball. Softball schedule, of which started in April. Yes. Last game was in May, so guess I don't need this anymore. Anyway, let me go ahead and get everything out of here, and then we'll sweep up, get our crates rearranged, we'll get our wood put in, and I have a special shadow box that I'm going to be hanging up here above the bar. We'll talk about when I get to it. Of these two items, it is all cleaned out. I'm gonna set these right over here on the table and get everything swept up. Alright, now that everything is swept up, I'm gonna go ahead and get our crates lined back up. I've kind of an interesting situation in this corner because while these panels are the same width, the doorbell's not exactly centered. And I have them setting over a heat return, to my furnace air system. And so because I want to hang a shadow box here, I want to make sure that this is centered on this particular beam, just because I'll see it a lot as I walk through the dining room, and I don't want to be like, oh, it's a tad askew. So let me get these in place, and then we'll talk about the wood that we're going to put inside of them. Okay, that looks basically centered. So we'll take it. It's an old house. Nothing is exactly straight. So the wood. That's the next thing that we're gonna put in here. I have the panels over here. First and foremost, the stain that I used on them, this is my favorite color. It's by Varathane. It is Early American, and this is a stain and poly in one, so it's literally one coat, you're done. It's lovely. It's my favorite thing to use. I use this on the shelves in my living room. I have another shelf that I made in my office with my Purina puppy farm sign on it from my great-great-grandfather. And anyway, this is my favorite color. So Early American by Varathane. And when I initially set this up, give me a second, I'll grab the wood here. When I initially set this up, I had all of the wood pieces at this thickness. I purchased them at a local lumber yard. I had them cut to size. I sanded all the edges to soften them up. And this is what I was going to put. But once I got them laid out in here, it really kind of felt wood forward. It was very heavy compared to what I wanted the look to be. So, like I said, my dad helped me cut some spare Luan down, and I stained it up. So I still have a couple of these thick ones just for the more important things, like the alcohol will be here at the top. So I want to make sure that it's on a thick board, just because it's the heaviest thing that we're going to have. And just to keep, for like, I don't know, to make it visually appealing, I'm not going to be filling all three of the bottom pieces with wood because it is on top of an air return. So I'm only going to do one on top of air return at the bottom, and I'll make sure it's a thin piece. But the layer above that, I'm going to put the second thick piece of wood I have, which will be right down here. So let me get those put in, and then I will check back in with you. Our last piece here, I'm going to put that in. Like I said, just kind of every other piece is that thick piece, and then everything else is there. But I think this is a lot more visually appealing than having these thick pieces on every single one. I just felt it was going to be too heavy. So let me go grab my crate of spirits. We'll come back and put those up. And I need to dust my shadow box really quick, and I'll show you that too. So give me just a sec, I'll be right back, and we'll check those out. All right, I am back, and the spirits have been added. I wasn't sure what the tube's policy is on showing that, so I didn't want to talk specifically about it. So we're gonna jump right in to the shadow box that I'll be hanging right up here. I already put our hanger on the wall. This shadow box, my mom made me several years ago for Christmas, and I'll bring it in closely so you can see, but this is, I'm sure you've seen the Graves Repair sign shop, or Graves Repair Shop sign, rather, up on my wall during some of my videos, and this is the grandpa who ran that shop, and some of the wrenches that he worked with. So when the family finally sold it, and they went and removed everything from it, my mom made us these little shadow boxes with some of his tools and stuff like that. So because I have that tribute to him here in the shop, in tribute to the shop in the dining room, yikes, I thought it was only right that I moved this. I used to have this in my office, but now I think it should live in here. So finally, a year later, we're getting to it. And there we go. I need to get some putty to kind of straighten it out a little bit. It doesn't hang straight because I think it's heavier on this side because the larger pieces of the wrench are on that side. So it likes to tilt a little bit. So I'm going to have to get some putty to put behind it, but that's good enough for now. And then you're probably wondering, oh, I don't see any glasses on there, Logan. That's great, a bar, but how do you make a beverage? Well, I'll be getting rid of these photos. We'll go over in a minute. That's what I'm going to put in the bottom 4 compartments. But in this one right here, I'm going to store some of my favorite glasses that are Barware. This one right here is the very first set of like barware tumbler sort of situation that I ever purchased. This was from a garage sale in Terre Haute, and she had 25 cents a piece, and I got a set of 6 of them. So that was great. I specifically remember that, and that's what made me realize, like, these are super neat and incredibly inexpensive at a garage sale. Usually when you find them out in the wild, they're much more expensive. But I thought, what a fun thing to kind of hunt for, to find them affordably priced. And now I literally have 2 like 5-6 foot racks. It's like, they're like 5 shelves each of the wire racks. You normally put them in a garage. No, I have them in the house with all of my different tumblers stored on them. So many different patterns and makers. This one does not have a maker on the bottom that I can make out. I actually see number 4, it looks like, stamped into it. So I'm not sure who the maker is on these. But the next 2 are Libby glasses. This one is a fun little rocks glass. It has this red texture on it and all these different bicycles. It's kind of like the evolution of bikes, because it has the bike with like the big front wheel from back in the day. And I purchased these online from the Trusty Huckster at Trusty Huckster Mercantile during one of his live selling events. And I love these. I think it's just a fun, neat little thing to have, and it adds a pop of color up there. And then I also have these, are also Libby. These are, I think these are perfect for like wine, which is probably the most common thing that people are drinking when they're over. But I use these for wine, and I love that they have the checkered motif on them because, again, my family has a rich history at the racetrack, and that's actually one of the photos I have up here that'll be front and center is from the Graves 40, which they started in order to honor our family at a local racetrack. So I thought that was cool, and I will, again, these will be up there. And the last thing I have up there is just a little champagne glass. These need to be dusted. These were unpacked. Most of what I have here has been packed up since April of 2022. So they're ready, I'm sure, for some fresh air, and I'll get them all wiped down and put on. But these are just a champagne coupe. I found these at a Catholic Charities with the silver banding at the top for a set of 6 for $2. So glad to have these. Anyway, let me get those unpacked and added, and then we'll go over some of the photos that I'm going to place in here, and then we'll jump into Advent. Glasses have been added, and I was able to get 4 of the rocks, 4 of the little tumblers, but only 3 of the champagne coupes and 3 of the wine glasses. These are just a little bit smaller than I'm used to, so I might reconfigure that later and just go down to 2 types of glasses. That way it doesn't seem odd to have only 3 of some of the other ones that can only fit 3, so I might just go to my gold rimmed and the red bicycle glasses. But for now, let's go ahead and get photos placed on. First, we have this one here. This is my family at the inaugural Graves 40, and again, they started this in 2023 was the first year, and it was such a neat thing to be a part of. So this definitely goes front and center. I'm just gonna put it over here in front of the mixers and things. Since they're not, those will be used a little bit more sparingly. And then on the bottom, I'm going to put this little picture of Bo, because it'll be at his level, and he'll be able to enjoy a photo of himself. Next, I have a group photo from the very first property I was ever a community manager at, and we hit 100%, and this is from our 100% celebration. This was from not this Thanksgiving this year, but the year before. This was the first Thanksgiving after I had gotten sick, and I forced all of my family to wear turkey hats and take a photo together. So, and next we have the Unlikely Trio, my little group of friends, and this was from our Kinney concert this summer. Again, this was kind of my first outing after getting sick, and I had such a great time. I love these two, so definitely want to make sure that they have a spot here. And continuing with the theme of first trip after I got sick, this is a photo of me and my two older sisters at the beach. It was my first trip to Florida, which is a big deal for me, and I was so happy to go. And then I have this photograph. This is me and another friend. I call him Jerry. And this is us on his birthday, actually, this year. I took him a cake, and that he specifically requested. Made sure that he had that on his birthday. So I definitely want to make sure he's represented here. And then my last one, these are other friends. This is Brandy and Dustin. Brandy is my oldest, like, adult friend. You grow up and you have kind of built-in friends that, you know, you are just with them growing up. You naturally become friends with them. But once you're out on your own and you start going to, you know, you go to college and you move to a different city, you go from being a, you know, a big fish in a small pond to a small fish in a big pond. So she was one of the first friends that I ever made, and I worked together with him in college as well. So we're still in touch. We still talk to each other pretty regularly. So definitely want to make sure that they are up here as well. That does it for the bar, and I'll show you kind of some up close shots, and then we will jump into Advent. Okay, it is time for day 23 of Advent. Are you ready for a treat? Okay. You have this one only one more day, Bubba. Only one more. Can you believe it? Okay, there you go. Oh, good boy. And let's see what toy you have today, Bubba. Ooh, oh, you'll like this one. Oh, a spiky ball. We'll let you finish your treat. Okay, here you go. Oh. All right. I'm going to go ahead and put that there. You finish your treat first, though, okay? You got it. It's right behind you. Look, a new ball. He says, right, but there's still more up there. Okay, I'll go ahead. We're going to go ahead and give him the last day because it's another squeaker. I know he'll enjoy it. He's been carrying that little Christmas tree cupcake situation around. It's currently in the chair over there. He carries it with him. We go outside, he carries it to the front door, drops it, comes back in, immediately picks it right back up. You want this one? You like this one better? Okay. Merry Christmas to you. All right. There it goes. Yep. Yep. Okay. Guess that's his seal of approval. A squeak of approval, rather. So, with that, we are ready for day 23. Only one more box in here. So exciting. Santa is almost here. And let's see what we got. We are just adding on to this was yesterday's with the little accessories we put on. So we're just adding to that today. Let's see what we've got here. Oh. Now look how little the stump gets. Tiny. All right, let's get all this added. All right, we are done with this little layer. So we've added that to what we did yesterday, and it looks like we're gonna have one more day of Advent and one more layer, and then once they're all together, then we put all three of these on the very, very top. So that will be tomorrow's video. Here's what we accomplished today. And our question for today's video, let me know in the comments below, what is the best Christmas gift that you've ever received? And with that, thank you very much for watching. If you've made it this far and you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future uploads. And I'll see you tomorrow.